My name is Ed Frawley. My wife and I own Leerburg, and I want to preface this video that's being put in our social media that this specific video came out of a course, an online course that we produced and that we sell on Leerburg.com. The course has over 204 videos, over 20 hours of videotape in this course. This video you're about to watch came out of the course titled Dealing with Dominant and Aggressive Dogs. So if you have an interest in learning about that, go to Leerburg.com, go to our university section, and you can read detailed notes about what's in the course. You can see a complete outline of the course. If you have an aggressive dog, our course is going to help you fix your problem. If not fix it, it's going to teach you how to manage your dog's problem. Okay, and this question and answer that we got deals with some folks that had a very bad situation with dogfights, with a dogfight between their two dogs in their home, and they couldn't control the fight. It got into a bad deal. I'll read it, we can talk about it, and hopefully everybody can learn something from it. We have a female short-haired dachshund for 4 years since she was a puppy. And then we have a 3-year-old female Australian Shepherd since she was 6 weeks old. They have always gotten along, never growled at each other or broke into a fight. Neither dog is spayed either. Well, 1 year ago, the dogs broke into a small fight. No treatment needed. We thought maybe it was over food or something. Well, nothing has happened since that day until this week. They got into a fight for no reason. The Australian Shepherd began the fight, so we kept our Australian Shepherd outside for about a week. While we had the sliding door open one day, the dachshund, Abby, went outside to use the restroom and to sniff around. The dogs even sniffed each other when they were outside, no problems. The dachshund, Abby, then ran inside the kitchen and went in the laundry room where she laid down scared, and the Australian Shepherd went in there and started sniffing Abby. Then she lurched over her like, I'm the queen here, and all of a sudden, she went to the dachshund's throat, shocking her and growling and blood flying all over the washer and the dryer and the walls. So it sounds like a bad deal. It was a bad deal. My husband tried to get her apart by grabbing the rear legs of the Australian Shepherd and leaving the dachshund dangling from the mouth of that dog, while I ran up and grabbed the rear end of her, and we could not get them apart. So can you imagine how traumatic that was? So I ran and got some water and thought that it would, if I threw it on the Australian's face, that would make her let go. Our dachshund, well, somehow they got him apart. She didn't really tell me how they got him apart. I would be hard-pressed to believe that tossing water in the dog's face would get him apart. Our dachshund had to have surgery on Thanksgiving Day with stitches and a drain tube. My 15-year-old daughter has a Chihuahua ticker, and now our Australian Shepherd looks at her funny. So now we keep them separated just in case. We were told by our vet that we need to get rid of the Australian Shepherd because once this starts, this will continue, even if we get them both spayed. And the next time, it could mean the death of the little dog. Is this what you would suggest too? Well, the vet's probably right. You should find a different home for this Australian Shepherd, unless you're going to micromanage it for the rest of its life. And by micromanage it, I mean you're going to take it and keep these dogs separated and keep them in dog crates, and they have no access at all. I've done that for my whole life. I mean, I had female dogs that would kill one another if they got loose. And over a period of 50 years or so, I've had a couple of female fights, but it was always with an accident where one of the employees left a gate accidentally open. But in this situation, it doesn't sound good, and it doesn't sound like this dog's going to get along well with either the Chihuahua or this Dachshund. It's just not a good thing. So, back to let's talk about this. They made the mistake of letting this little dog out in the backyard when this Australian Shepherd was out there. Mistake number one. That other dog should have been put away, and then the Dachshund should have gone out on its own. As soon as that Australian Shepherd followed that dog into the house, the husband should have stepped in. Then we get to the dog fight. The husband did the right thing, trying to pull the dog apart. So now you have a situation where you have a small dog trying to kill or be killed by a big dog, and the wife is trying to pull this away. This is a hard situation. I mean, it's really hard, and it's physical. It's physically demanding. It's emotionally demanding to break up a dog fight. I wish they would have been more specific in telling us how they eventually broke it up, because it could have continued until the Dachshund was dead. And I have plenty of emails on people's dogs killing one another, from the same household killing one another. So, with a little dog like that, the way to break up a dog fight, if you go to my segment on how to break up a dog fight, it's two people, normally it's two people, each goes in, grabs the back leg of a dog, pulls them apart, and then as soon as they're apart, you start spinning them in circles so that they got to step over one another. And you keep them going in circles so you take their frame of mind away from wanting to kill this dog that's in front of them, and they don't want to fall on their face. Doesn't matter that they fall on their face. And then you drag them into another room, or you drag them into a kennel, because if you release them right there, they're just going to turn around and go back and fight again. But this is a scenario that there's not an easy way to break it up. You need to use some pretty strong physical force on this Australian Shepherd to save the life of that Dachshund. I'm not here to tell you what I would do, but it would have let go, because I wouldn't stand for one of my dogs trying to kill another dog. A comment I want to finish on here is what this vet said. Yes, probably a good idea is to find a new home for this Australian Shepherd. But to get them both spayed, if that's the advice that a vet gave them, that vet lacks experience. I will guarantee you that you spayed two females, and it's a known fact that two females, or a female, when you have it spayed, the level of aggression in that female goes up. That's not the case with males. You can have a male be neutered, and its level of aggression does not go up. But it does go up with a female. And then if you have two females and their aggression goes up, probably wouldn't happen with a Dachshund, though. A little dog like this learned its lesson the hard way. Doesn't want anything to do with that dog. But for a vet to say, oh, you should probably get them both spayed, that's a guy that either lacks experience or is more interested in your pocketbook than your dogs.